Jackson, and I'm going to go to TCU in Fort Worth in the fall. And I chose that school because, well, really, I didn't choose it because it's the college where both my parents went, and they've been telling me about it my whole life. I really thought that I wasn't going to choose it because of that exact reason. But they said, hey, we're going to go look at it because that's where we went, and we want to go and check it out, so you may as well take a college tour while you're there. And I did, and it really surprised me how much I was having trouble not wanting to go there. I loved the campus, I loved how open it was, I loved how it wasn't 2 degrees, like some of the schools I went to. And what I really loved was how when I said I want to do a double major in vocal performance and chemistry, they didn't immediately look at me with, oh, no, which is what some colleges did. I really liked how TCU was ready to just say, hey, yeah, that's great. We've got 2 people doing that already. We've got a program that doesn't exactly fit that, but you can totally make it work, and we're going to be here to support you and work with you on that. And then they've got a great opera program. They've got a great chemistry program, which is what I'm looking for. And then I got the full scholarship, and it seemed like, hey, this is a sign. This is where I need to be going. It's really good. People who got me to this point are definitely my parents for encouraging me all the way through school. Starting in 1st grade, they were like, hey, school is fun, and I agreed with that wholeheartedly all the way through, even when I was staying up all night having to study for some classes. But definitely my parents, definitely my siblings as well, even though we fight sometimes. Helping them with homework reminds me what I loved about being in their grade, about taking those classes, and why I still want to learn and go to college and study more. And of course, all my teachers at FHS. But today, the teacher I'm honoring is not from FHS, and I have written a speech, and it's not Mr. Reef, but I did bring my science binder, so a little shout out to Mr. Reef. But when I was asked which of my many FPS teachers had impacted my educational life the most, I immediately knew that it was Mrs. Cindy Gray, my GT teacher from Ramey. So would you come up here, please? I was lucky enough to have her for 2 years and to be in her last 9th grade class and her last 9th grade Epcot trip. I learned and experienced so much during my time in her classroom, from silent filmmaking to World War II timelines to cultivating an insatiable curiosity and unstoppable work ethic. My favorite GT unit, hands down, was our musical instruments unit, where we made both music and instruments themselves from scratch. Mrs. Gray's room looked more like a carpenter's workshop for weeks on end, which probably was not great for her, but it was a lot of fun for me because we got to measure, saw, drill, and sand our instruments all with our own hands just until they were as perfect as we could make them. At the beginning of the unit, I was very skeptical about us as students trying to be master craftspeople making instruments, but Miss Gray didn't give us any time to hang back in self-doubt. She encouraged us to just get started and work through any problems we came up against. We had basic instructions, but a lot of times we would make mistakes in following those directions, and as a result would have to think of creative ways to work around them. It was an intense exercise in problem solving and hands-on working, and it was so much fun. I loved the process of making a finished product from a set of raw materials, and the experience inspired me to keep building more things on my own time. Miss Gray really pushed all of us to believe in our own abilities to succeed in this activity, which most of us had never even come close to doing before. She was right there in the thick of things with us, always ready to hold a power drill steady or give tips on sanding techniques. She even showed us all how to solder electrical wires into mint tins so that we could electrify our creations. That's not there, okay. Miss Gray is definitely one of the most persistent people I know. It amazes me how she is always ready to jump right into trying something new, even if there's a chance that it might go wrong. Sometimes things did go wrong, but she never gave up, and she didn't let us give up either. She can do anything that she sets her mind to, not because she is immediately an expert in everything that she tries, but because she is willing to put in the work and research to overcome any obstacles that get in her way, such as lack of experience or knowledge. But really, I think that Miss Gray can't have many areas in which she lacks knowledge, because whenever she discovers a gap in her understanding, she immediately works to fill it. She's one of the few people I know that when someone asks her a question to which she doesn't know the answer, responds not, I don't know, Google it, but instead, I don't know, let's Google it. She's always ready to expand her own understanding of the world and everything in it, and obviously loves helping others do the same. It's what makes her an amazing GT teacher, quiz bowl coach, mentor, and friend. She's always encouraging, always helpful, always curious, always interested and interesting, always willing to try something new. She's always there for her students and is always ready to have a good discussion or recommend a good book or movie on any topic. She's always thinking and asking important questions about the world around her, and she's incredibly intelligent and knowledgeable as a result. She inspires me in everything that she does, and I know that over the 2 years that I had her for GT at Ramey, she shaped my personality and work ethic more than anything else could have in that short time span. I know that whenever I find myself researching the answer to a question that I could have let pass by, or going to Hobby Lobby to buy yet more materials to solve a problem that cropped up in a crafts idea that I had in the middle of the night, or even just getting really excited while explaining a science concept to someone, I have Miss Gray to thank. She's been a positive force in my life and in the lives of all the students that she interacts with, and I am forever grateful for this.